I'm Sharon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Ordinarily I'd be sitting here talking to you about something that I'm up to recently or going to be doing, some production I'm involved in, a choir concert or something that I'm just having a go at. However, today I'm going to talk to you about another choir. I wanted to just share my thoughts that had occurred after going to visit my friend. She's just joined Keele Bach Choir, another local choir. It's a very luminary little choir. And it struck me that it's a long time since I've actually sat in the audience. It's a long time since I've actually been an audience member rather than a participant. In fact, as I was sitting there, I realised that the last time I actually went to see an amateur musical performance, apart from going to see my kids when they were in the City Music School, was probably back when I was 18, 19, and I thought that's such a dreadfully long time. And actually, ironically, there's a poetry to it, because when I was 18 I went to see that very same friend in a choir concert. She was singing Stainer's Crucifixion and she was also playing a piano duet at the time. I think that's too many years, that's too many decades since I've been to actually watch somebody else perform. And the concert, I really enjoyed it, so I'll tell you what the concert was all about. I enjoyed it on so many levels. It was really great not to be a little bit nervous, no pre-stage nerves at all, because I wasn't on stage. And also it was, it's Keele Bach Choir, but it was held, their performances are held at Keele University Chapel. We've sung there ourselves a couple of times. But going to Keele University campus always brings happy memories to it. I absolutely love that university campus. It's our local university, well, one of our two local universities. And I myself studied there for a time. I think my circuitous academic journey is plenty of material for another vlog, so I'll talk to you about that another time. But going back and revisiting the campus was a real joy. I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful place to be. And occasionally in the past, in the more recent past, I've even gone to the library just to have a bit of peace and quiet, to do a bit of study with no interruptions at all. So I still pop back there occasionally just for old time's sake. The concert was a few weeks ago. I just haven't had time to get to tell you about it. And it was a celebration of Saint Cecilia, who was the patron saint of music. So that's very appropriate. And I absolutely love the artwork on the front cover. I don't know if it's somebody famous or if it's just a composite image, but I really like the programme and poster cover. And so all of the music was about Saint Cecilia, and I knew none of it, so it was very educational. The first piece, I'll try and find some links and put you some links in the cards and in the description so you can hear what it was that I was also listening to. The first piece was Cantibus Organis by Philps. I didn't know this at all, of course. I said I didn't know any of it. And I was really impressed with this. It was a Latin piece, a very small little piece, and it was entirely unaccompanied. And when I'm singing in a choir, I absolutely dread those sorts of pieces, because there's always this inclination to just go flat. And I do not have perfect pitch, but as far as I could tell, they stayed nicely in tune. I was really impressed with that. Our musical director Anthony always says to us, when you're singing, even when you're singing accompanied, but when you're singing unaccompanied, it's so much more important to just keep your posture right, and you've got to sing with your eyebrows and, you know, keep everything up and bright. Otherwise, the second your posture slips and slouches, so does your pitch, which is never a good sound. So I really enjoyed that. The second piece was by Handel, Ode for Saint Cecilia's Day. It was very Handel, sort of Handel. It's a shame in a sense, because in fact the organ wasn't working on that particular occasion for this concert. And the organ in Keele Bach Chapel is amazing, and my friend's husband, he plays that. And so it was a shame not to be able to hear that. So perhaps if it had been accompanied on piano, not on piano, on organ, it would have had a much bigger sound. I said to our friend who we were sitting with, I said, oh dear, that's a blow. I must stop all these dreadful jokes. It's like, Apologies to any pipe organists out there for my terrible sense of humour. There were lots of recitatives, which are perhaps the drier sort of storytelling part, but there were some lovely odes, and the choral items were beautiful. And the solos, they were all kind of prose, so they were fab. So I enjoyed that. And I found that as I was sitting there listening, I spent the whole time, and I'm sure this is not the right way to sit through a concert, I spent the whole time thinking, I don't know if I could do that. Could I do that? Oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I was doing that. I wish I was on stage. It's like, sit down and enjoy the concert. So it was a bit of a lesson in patience for me as well, just to sit back and enjoy things. The next item was a hymn for Saint Cecilia by Howells. Some of the words to that were, "Sing for the morning's joy, Cecilia, sing, in words of youth and praises of the spring." So that was quite a joyous little piece. And then I enjoyed them all, but I think my favourites were the first, the Cantibus, and then this last item by Gounod, Messe Solenelle de Saint Cecile. And it was, your standard mass text of Kyrie, Gloria, Credo, Sanctus, Benedictus, Agnus Dei. I just love singing a bit of Latin, Maybe that's why I like the first and the last items, but I'd never heard that. And it was a really important lesson to me, I know that I don't know everything. I've got a very, very small knowledge of musical repertoire. My bubble is very small. So it was good to hear some new things and to experience a different choir. But it was also a lesson to me. And, go and support your local music. Just because you sing in a choir, so from this time the shoe was on the other foot. Ordinarily I'm trying to sell tickets, come and hear us sing, come and support us, and I shall be doing that again for the Christmas concert soon. But it was also, Sharon, put your money where your mouth is, and go and see some other choirs as well. In fact, just to try and save my reputation a little bit, I do put my money where my mouth is, and oftentimes when I ask people to come to my concert, I pay for their tickets, I value them as audience members, so here, I'll buy you a ticket as a present, here's your Christmas present, have a ticket. But, go and see, don't put your money where your mouth is only, but just get your feet out there and just get your bottom on that seat and go and watch somebody else. And so it was a really important lesson to me, and it's a really valuable resource to go and see different musicians. There's all sorts of live music on our doorstep, and it's quite an economical way of hearing lots of different music. Go and see things that you wouldn't normally think of going to see. I know at an old snooker club kind of in the next town along, they've turned that into a live concert venue, and they have all sorts of random rock bands and cover bands, and my sister goes there quite often, and she says, we must go together. It's like, yeah, I'll go. Live music's great, whatever it is. And so I think really I'm talking to myself really as much as I'm chatting away to you, and it's like, let's get out there and support our local musicians, see what's on your doorstep. There's lots to enjoy. I hope that you found that interesting. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.